We should be live.
Good morning, everyone. We should be going on live. We're just checking on Facebook to make sure. Yep, there we are. We are live. Just want to say a quick good morning, a quick welcome and introduction. My name is Rebecca and my husband.
JB Atkins.
And together we form Dual Dragons. And as you can see there, we're both holistic wellness consultants. What we do is in the realm of massage therapy, but that's not our main focus. We use other modalities and tools to give our clients results, whether it is energy work, cupping, Reiki, craniosacral, anything that you need to get the results, because we all know that a lot of our physical pain, chronic pain, sometimes does come from something physical, but it also comes from either a traumatic background, whether it be emotional, whether it be something environmental within your household. There's a lot of things that could trigger the illnesses and any pain that may come about. Your body is developed to send signals when it needs help. So pain is very important. It's not fun, but it's a very important red flag for us to know when our body needs attention, and paying attention to it with the right tools is very beneficial. So that's what we do. We are the AK, also known as the muscle whisperers. We speak to the muscles. The muscles tell us everything. They hold memory. Like I said, of any traumatic event, they hold that memory within the muscle, and we're able to get that information. And so that's a little bit of us. We've been doing this for 2 years. We both have been massage therapists prior for 10 years. I know I have. And then but from there, we developed a unique tools, a different way of treating the body after that. That happened when my sister got diagnosed with ovarian cancer, is where we discovered our gifts as facilitated healers. And so during this time of COVID, uh, everything came to a stop. And so it made me really think about all our clients. How are they dealing with pain? How is everyone dealing with pain, including myself? How can we work on ourselves, and what is going to happen from here on? And so I was doing a lot of meditation when I got a message from my spirits guides about the Healers Roundtable. They told me I needed to start that back in September. And with their guidance, I developed the Healers Roundtable. And the reason why I call it that is because I visualized, I saw the knights come to the round table, and how they would, you know, make plans how to protect the kingdom. And that's what I saw. I saw all of us coming to this round table as healers, talking about giving each other advice, like, how can we help each other and how can we help others? And so that's how Healers Roundtable came about. And in October, I did the first course, which was the 7-day chakra cleanse. And we focused on a chakra every day to align ourselves to reground. And then in the month of November, I did the 7-day how to connect with your spirit guides through meditation. And that was to align us with our higher source. So now that we've aligned, grounded, and our higher source, here we are in December with spiritual connections. And so for yesterday, we did spiritual connection with yourself emotionally. And today sorry, I did that again. Hold on. I need to get back to I did that yesterday. It's acting funny. Today, we're going to focus on spiritual connection with yourself mentally, our mental mindset. And so a little bit of my notes, I just want to share a little bit of my notes. You know, I do a lot of meditation and I just write things down as they come. My spiritual guides, they speak to me. And so what I wrote down for myself is be aware of your thoughts. You know, what are my morning rituals? How do I wake up? In what mental state do I wake up in? And what are my first thoughts as I wake up? It's very important. I think that's something that I've been noticing myself doing more of daily. The minute I wake up, what's my first thought? Usually it's dreams for me. And I'll be having a lot of dreams and I'll kind of wake up and be like, I wonder what was the message behind that dream. And then also automatic writing, which is something I've been doing. I have my little composition notebooks where something will come. I got to write it down because I know it's something important. Every thought that comes in your mind is an important message, whether it sounds silly, whether it makes no sense, but it will make sense and it's not silly. You know, so that's what we're going to be talking about. We have a wonderful speaker that will be presenting, Gosha Lorenz. She's a spiritual and transformational coach. There is her website, her information on how to reach her, her phone number. If there's something that she says today that resonates with you, and you're like, you know what, I need more from Gosha. I need, I need to get a hold of her. This information will be on our page at all times. It's not just here. So if afterwards you're like, oh, I forgot to get her information, you could always find it in our Facebook page. It's also on the invites, on the event page, all that information. And even after the course, it will continue being on our Facebook page. If later on you happen to view these courses and you really want to connect with her, you could reach her through the Facebook page. Okay, and so with that, I just want to go ahead and hand over the microphone to Gosha. So I'm going to go ahead and stop sharing. So then that way we could put her on speaker.
Hello. Thank you, Rebecca. Such a beautiful introduction. And I really commend you for how you and JB created this beautiful series, and the series before and after and after and after, because I know they will keep coming. And it's amazing that you're listening to the guidance, that you taking your time and energy to create that community and create that contribution and that energy flow and support for people. This is really beautiful, guys. Thank you for doing this now and in the future. So let's talk about mental state, spiritual state, energetic state, energetic clarity. That's kind of my specialty, achieving energetic clarity. So I think I will go there. And as Rebecca said, when she wakes up, what's my first thought? I must admit that when I wake up, I'm usually completely out of it and I'm a little grumpy. And before, I didn't know, and I thought I'm a grumpy person, a negative person. And with the time, over the years, I learned that I'm actually very, very aware of what is around me, what energies are around me. And the more people are around me when I wake up, like not next to me, of course, in a bigger radius, and the radius is getting bigger and bigger and bigger now, because it seems like I'm more and more aware of everything. The more heads are around me and people around me, the more grumpy I can be. So the tool that it's really valuable for me, it's first come back to myself, because we travel during the sleep state. We do travel, we go. Dreaming is not just dreaming something happening to your brain. You do leave the body, you travel through the galaxies, you do work, you go to the past, future, everything is simultaneous. So we do things and we create things and we fight the wars and we fight the different things that are happening and we don't even know exactly cognitively what just happened, but we might feel exhausted when we wake up, and we might feel amazing and happy and enlightened. So it's very important not to take anything too personally. When you wake up and you're grumpy, okay, stop. Not like, oh no, I'm gonna have a bad day and this happened yesterday, and go into your head tripping mode. More like, okay, am I in my body? My first question is, am I in my body? Did I come back? And guess what? 99% of the time, I am not. I am not back from my travels. That's why I'm feeling a little off, very often. So the simple tool that I teach to anyone who will listen is how to check if you're in your body. Now I do in bed, but I had to learn it to check that when I was standing up after I got out of bed, but whatever works for you guys. But it's important to have a tool that works for you when it comes to yeses and nos. What is your yes? What is your no? Do you trust yourself? Is it a lightness? Is it some movement of energy for yes, expansion for yes, and contraction for no? Maybe some heaviness, maybe energy gets stuck. So you need to learn how to distinguish between those two, because this needs to be your compass for life, for everything. So it's so much easier to know your yeses and no, right or left. Do I go here? Do I go here? Do I take this path or this path? Do I make this choice or this choice? We can go really much easier and smoother through life when we trust ourselves and trust the guidance, that inner knowing and intuition. So you can use muscle testing, which is super easy when you use your body as the sway. It's called sway test. So when you stand up, relax, don't be tense, just relax, facing north preferably, but if you don't know where north is, don't worry about that. Better if you're hydrated, if possible. So when you stand up and you ask, show me a yes, you're asking your body to show you what a yes is for your body. And collectively, the body should lean forward. That should be your yes. Sometimes your polarity can be reversed and you go backwards. Change it, okay? Just change it. Just turn around in your body energetically. That's the simplest tool I found for people like that. And then you find with yes, or calibrate your body and tell your body, hey, this is a yes. This is going to be our yes. Because if you're totally disconnected from your body, and I'm sure whoever is listening is not, but it might be the case when you a lot of in your head, a heady person, then you might be disconnected. So make sure you drop down in your awareness in your body. Okay, show me a yes, you should lean forward. Show me a no, you should lean backwards. If you're kind of wonky and you go this way, which sometimes means like, I don't know, not sure, that's not like, I know, I'm sure. Either you're in your body or you're not in your body. This is yes or no question. So if you're in your body, wonderful. You can move on with your day and enjoy the rest of the day. If you're still feeling strange, ask, did I take anything on? Anything that I took on, anything that I'm aware of, anything that's bombarding me with that heaviness, I can just return to sender. You can say return to rightful owner, or just be aware that this is information that doesn't have to impact you. It's kind of make this not just reject it. It's just more like, no, thank you. I don't need you here right now. So if the answer is no, if your body leans backwards, am I back in my body? For me, it's almost always backwards in the morning. Then you can close your eyes and tune into where might you be. So you might be very close or very far, and you don't need to know, because some people are like, I don't know where I am. I'm just not in my body. Just pull yourself back in, call yourself back home. This is crucial. You have to be home when you want to go throughout the day. If you don't come back to your body, this is when accidents happen. This is when you trip. This is when you're confused. This is when you feel disoriented, when you feel grumpy, when you invite other beings, other creatures into your body, because nobody's home. So this is if you have one tool for life, this is the tool. Yes and no, and am I in my body? And I also found out every time I would feel like during the day, sometimes I get up and go, and I start feeling sick. I start feeling weird. Something is off. I check, I'm never in my body. 100% when I'm feeling sick or something is starting to get me, my immunity is down. I'm not home. Like nobody's home. When you leave your home open with doors and windows open, somebody will come in eventually. Things will attack you. Things will make itself at home in your in your body. So it's very important. So next, I already mentioned you aware of other things. Not all your thoughts, feelings, and emotions are yours. You just aware being. We are beautiful, energetic, sensitive, aware beings that came here with this huge antennas for our brains and minds that we think they don't really work. We are just like radios. We are just like TV sets. We bring in all kinds of vibrations, all kinds of frequencies, all kinds of information that we pick up. So we live as a collective. It's very easy to connect to all kinds of matrices. They are not necessarily the best for you. So when you're starting feeling sorry for yourself, when you're starting being mopey and start feeling, oh, this COVID thing or whatever, it's terrible, or now I'm single mom, or now I don't know what, I'm jobless now, and you start spiraling down, it's very easy to hook up to some kind of matrix of all the people feeling this way. So imagine there's the cloud above you with that is the energy of people feeding that cloud that became consciousness on its own, created entity on its own, that has its own life force fed by all these people thinking those ways, this morphogenetic field that now is kind of like looking for people like you. The moment you start, you might hook up to it, it might create this symbiotic relationship. Usually it's more parasitic than symbiotic, but you feed into it, this sucks you dry and downloads information to you, how pathetic you are, how weak you are, how terrible your life is. And have you noticed, like sometimes you're happy, and then you have one thought, it might not be even yours, and then you start spiraling down, and before you know it, you feel like crap about yourself and your life and everything you created and whatever you haven't done in life and whoever destroyed your life and damaged you, and you go this path. So we have to have this discipline and also awareness to catch that first moment, because before we know it, we can be really on the bottom, and then 3 days later we're still in bed, depressed. So it's that moment that we have to catch, something is off. Okay, what is that? So it takes discipline and also choice, and kind of be that, not saying be always scared of like something is happening to me, more like awareness. Oh, that's off. I'm feeling something. And you guys are great with muscles, muscle memory, and all the traumatic stuff. Very often things kick in the muscles and a muscle memory and cellular memory, and it triggers something that leads somewhere else. So that first moment, what is that? And learn some technique of releasing things. There's so many easy techniques out there to release things or download things. So release, it can be like a command on the computer, when you do enter, and you enter and something disappears or something saves. You can do exactly the same with you, like, okay, I'm aware of something in my body. You can say just clear, enter, or see it whooshing out of you. You can use the tool of just, that's more like quantum healing, from the base of your spine to the top of your head and out of you, kind of like do like this sweep and sweep it out of you. You can take it out and kind of do like this swirl out. This is really cool tool. Pull it out of you and pull it out. So this is a fishing technique developed by my friend in Florida, Jimmy Mack. So the other one, the swooshing, it's Now Healing, Elma Meyer, I think. So those are the two easiest techniques I found. Or just say dissipate and release. Clear, delete. However you do it, it works, because energy is fast. Energy is easy to move. We have dense bodies still. It might change at some point in this lifetime, and the bodies won't be so dense, but right now they're super dense. But energy is not dense. It can feel dense. It can feel like a rock, but it's still energy. So when you get that in your mind, that energy is easy to move, it's easy to move. So things can shift instantaneously. Something that you've maybe been carrying for 20, 30, 40 years of your life, and it's been like a pattern or a trigger or a trauma, it can actually move and release in seconds. We are that capable. We are so easy. We are so talented when it comes to energy work. Energy is our first language. We are born to use that first language. And nobody speaks this language, or not, most people don't speak this language, but know that this is your inborn right to use that language, and also capacity to use that language. So stay aware. This is my number one advice. Always stay aware. Also, you have to develop self-trust. That's your self-trust. Trust yourself and not go, I'm speaking for myself. I used to go to everyone to look for advice. Tarot cards and crystals and pendulums, and I always wanted somebody to tell me what to do. I did not trust myself at all. It took me years and years and years of work, but I'm probably like the worst case scenario. Okay, so don't worry about that. It might take you a week or a day. And until I developed trust beyond the shadow of a doubt. And now I have so many different ways of checking if I'm clear, if I'm really getting this information from the highest, purest source possible, and that is not distorted. So this is more like your work. We don't have a time capacity here to really go through all these tools that I'm doing. And I'm sure Rebecca and JB have other tools as well. So this is more like your path, your quest for your energetic clarity. But it's very important to trust yourself. And if you're working with your guides, develop this beautiful relationship. I call them teammates. Develop the relationship. This is just higher aspects of you. It's not outside of you. Don't make anyone outside of you more powerful than you or more capable than you. This is number one mistake people make, because they heard something from someone energetic that must be true. Not true at all, because there's so many beings out there that are not necessarily clearer than you or conscious. That like the darkest demon can pose itself as light and tell you things, and before you know it, you're already like completely crooked energetically, and you're feeding into something, or something is feeding into you that's just siphoning your energy. And it's not. But this is more like heavy duty stuff, but it does happen very often, especially if you're a light worker, if you are a lightful person, because the more we beam our light, the more we might become targets. So it's not be scared of that or use all kinds of protections, more be aware. So if that voice seems a little off, or what they said doesn't resonate with you, trust that. Trust yourself. Don't trust the voice. Don't trust the guidance. Trust yourself, because not everything will resonate with you. There's so many levels of consciousness. There's so many levels, so many dimensions, and not everything might resonate with you in this moment. It might resonate with you in a year or in a week, but not right now. So go with your gut feeling, go with your trust, go with your awareness, and you'll be fine. It's just now, right now, the energy of the world is crazy. People are scared. People are afraid of all these changes. They don't know what's going to happen with them. So fear is like this dominant energy. But there's also this beautiful, beautiful, lightful energy of shifting to higher dimensionality, 5D and beyond. We are shedding all this crap that we've been carrying on for centuries, just organically. It just goes away. So the more you know, the more tools you have, the faster you can go. The more you resist those changes, the harder it's going to get. It's going to go no matter what. You're going to fly and be taken by the wave no matter what. But if you resist it, it's just going to be more difficult. So prepare yourself, and for a wild ride, it might be super uncomfortable, super intense. But if you develop this kind of neutral state of being, more like, okay, it is what it is for the moment. Can I make it better? Or can I feel better? Can I maybe do this without a healing crisis? Go there. But it might be really difficult, and it will be beautiful at last, at some point. So eventually, I think we just have to be kind of in allowance of the process, because process is happening if we like it or not. The earth is ascending if we like it or not. And it's better just go with the flow rather than resist any change. And most people resist the change because change has bad reputation on this planet. I don't know why. Change is the most natural state of everything, everywhere we go. But somehow we are afraid of the changes, and because they make us uncomfortable. They take us out of our little boxes and structures. And who would you be without all the structures and everything from the past, everything you define yourself as? Because we are, this creatures of definition. We want to define everything and explain everything and understand everything. Some things are beyond understanding in this moment when it comes to our mind just cannot grasp those concepts. So there are massive energies, downloads that come to us, and that actually are not understandable by the cognitive mind. So maybe just relax and not make everything so significant, and just go with the flow and see what shows up. And what shows up today might be an old past tomorrow, because you will have such dramatic shift or change in your energetic field. So it's you know it's fun, it's fun to change, it's fun to stay congruent with who you are, connect with your energies of everything. I always ask if there's anything that's accessible for me right now that I know from other lifetimes, dimensions, realities, other galaxies where I was alive. If I can have that now, I have that now. And I just feel a download. I feel some kind of activation. Something just shifts in my body, and I start usually shaking and jitter, and something is different. I don't need to define it. I don't need to understand it. I know something is different. And then maybe a week later, I will see I did something that I couldn't do before. So it's more like the less we define things, the happier we're going to be, I think. And the easier things are going to be. Those changes happening right now. Is there anything else I can add? Rebecca, JB, is there anything that popped that I can talk for hours, but tell me.
Yeah, I like what you were saying about being aware. And I think that's something that we have been emphasizing about, being aware of you first. I mentioned that yesterday, that it is very important as healers, as facilitated healers, you need to heal yourself first before you could work on others. It's vital. And what you're saying right now is like, yes, become aware of what's coming on and focus on yourself first, and not listen to that exterior, or like what you were saying, yes, there's a lot of people that are going to give you a path. Oh, you should do this, you should do that, you should do that. It might work, but is it really for you? Mm-hmm. And the muscle testing, I do that a lot. I do it a little differently. I'll do the...
Yeah, there are many techniques. Yes.
If I'll hold myself strong, and I'll be like, show me my yes, and then I'll push, and it's show me my no, and my arm goes weak. And it's I love that tool, because sometimes if I feel like something doesn't make sense, is it for me? And then I'll muscle test, or is it something I need to let go? And then it'll let me know, like, okay, it's something I need to let go. Yeah. And move on. And for our mindset, we tend to, like what you said, we tend to stick to, get too much in our head, overanalyze, overthink it, over question it. And it shouldn't be that. It should be simple, like what you just said, just take that moment, come back home, just come back home and just feel. Your feelings are so important. And that's what we were talking about yesterday, that emotional state. Your emotional state is very important, because that's what helps you distinguish what you need to focus on within yourself. How do you feel? Your thoughts, your feelings, those are very important to help you focus on your mindset. Like, this is what I want to focus on myself for today. And so they're all important. But it's also important to be aware of what is yours and what is from everywhere else. Because we tend to want to take on everything else. And then that's where we have our clients coming to us like, it's too much, I'm under pressure, I'm frustrated, I can't deal with all this. And it's like, what is important for you? It's like, everybody wants me, everybody needs my attention, everybody wants something from me. Yeah. Like, why did you make that choice to spread yourself that thin? Because it's all a choice. We all have that choice to choose what we want to prioritize in our life. And so once you make that choice, things change.
Yeah.
Things start evolving, and you're just like thinking like, why didn't I do this sooner? But at the same time, it was not time wasted. It was just an experience that you had to learn to be able to be the person you will be now.
Yeah.
What you do today is for tomorrow.
Exactly. And we get it when we get it, you know? How often do you have this big aha moment of something so simple yet profound for you in that moment? Like, oh my gosh, how did I not know it and get it 10 years ago? It's just the way it is. It's so funny when we're being a little slow. But yes, don't overanalyze anything because you can go crazy. And there's always more to clear. There's always more to find. There's always something you can dig out. But if it's appropriate for the situation, okay, I reacted really strange in this situation. What just happened? So I do a lot of questions. I always ask, okay, is this mine, first of all? Is this something that has to do with me? It does. Okay, is this from this lifetime or another lifetime? I see which one is lighter. So again, which one, you can have muscle testing. There's all kinds of muscle testing techniques. You can use your pendulum. I went, from pendulum to body testing to just feeling the movement of energy. And that's my yeses and nos. But it took me a while to kind of train myself to that. So is this, from this lifetime or another lifetime? Oh, another lifetime. Now I started asking, is this from this planet or another planet? Because we've had so many galactic lifetimes that we don't even, that we're so much older than the Earth lifetimes. So if it's super old like that, then it's even wilder what can come up. And then I ask, did I do something or did somebody do something to me? Is this a trauma because I did it and then I regretted it, or I did something horrible and then I died, feeling terrible about myself and all the damage I've done, or somebody did actually do to me? Where is this trigger, this trauma coming from? So it's I know for some people it's like, I would not know what I'm getting. You will, like Rebecca said, we have information, we'll get information, we'll get awareness. This can be a sentence in your head, it can be a word in your head. I remember when I started getting this information, I was always questioning it. I was like, did I just make it up? Did I just think of that and it's not real? But then I would say to a client, I don't know, I'm hearing this or this shows up, and they would always confirm. So I gained more and more confidence that what I'm getting is actually what is. And I'm not making it up. I'm not crazy. I'm not a person with big fantasy at all. I'm just getting information appropriate for this particular situation. And so that took me a while. So it's a matter of practicing, guys. It's not, about muscles. If you go to the gym once, your muscles will not get ripped at all. You need to go to the gym very regularly, right? You need to exercise, you need to do more things. It's the same. We have the awareness muscle, we have the intuition muscle, we have the energetic muscles. But if we never used them before, or we use them like once, they're not going to be super strong. But if you keep diligently working on strengthening your awareness and your energetic muscles, they will get super strong. And once they're strong, there's like nothing that can hide from you. You will know things, you will get information. If somebody tells you something that's not true, you will know they're lying to you. You will know they're hiding something. You will know there's something off with this proposal or this situation or whatever they're telling you. And you have to trust that. How often we believe the words that people say rather than read energetically what's going on. Now, when I'm listening to people, and I developed it from working with people, when I was facilitating them in classes and sessions, it's when they say things that are true for them and they're true generally and cosmically, everything is light. But the moment they say something that's a lie, but it might be just a limitation, like, oh yeah, I know I can't do that. The energy just dips. So I know, are you sure you can do it? Or maybe this is what you learned, or maybe this was one experience that you tripped once. It doesn't mean you can't do it ever again. You never tried again. So this is a simple example, but pay attention to the flow of energy when people talk to you, and also when you talk to yourself, when you have like some kind of, your mental, your thoughts are flowing. And if it's like the thoughts are do, and then something goes, it's like, is there a lie? Is there some limitation? Is this something you bought from somebody else? Is this something you've been hanging on from the past because somebody hurt you and now all the men are bad and terrible and the liars, yes, I'm sorry it happened to you, but do you think it's really true for you, for every single man on the planet? And so we have to learn to examine those thoughts and examine those situations and those energies and ask, be detectives. I always feel like I'm playing detective when something happens, and I have like this vast array of possibilities and I have no idea what is. It's like before I start asking questions and looking at that, and then suddenly there's a path that emerges, and I know what is, or have some closer information about that. So just be curious, just be curious and make it significant. Nothing will happen if you get something incorrect. Nobody will die. Just play with it. This is something you need to be playful about and curious about, like a child. Children know, because they don't make it significant. They don't get so serious, and they're like, oh, what if I get it wrong? So what? You get it wrong. And it's not really wrong, it's just incorrect. Or you maybe picked up on another signal, another energy, and you missed the one whisper that was directed at you. So just be easy on yourselves. I think we are very, very, very tough on ourselves. We are worst judges. Like if we were willing to be easier on ourselves and treat ourselves with more kindness and compassion and just goodness, things will be better in our lives. So that's it. I think we're out of time. Are we? From me talking.
We have plenty of time. But yes, just to quickly share my story and how I connected with Gosha. She was my first facilitator for another healing program that we both believed in. And at the time, it benefited both of us, her being a mentor, teacher, facilitator, and me being new and learning this technique that another friend, a mutual friend of ours, had been trying to share with me for years. And again, when I try to open up to that, I was just like pass out trying to read the book or listen to audio. I myself wasn't in tune, ready to receive that, or not ready to do the work. And of course, there's that moment when I had amazing Gosha train me in this wonderful tools of this technique, and which then at the time, there's, like she said, possibilities. And then of course, for something, I had the message that we were meant to work together. It might have been then a couple of years ago, but look what it manifested years later as I worked on myself and I did my own journey, adjusting my mindset. Because I think I shared with you, Gosha, back then, like, I don't get it. I'm taking all these personal development, spiritual classes, but then I see my brothers still holding on to whatever limiting beliefs, emotions, but they're prospering financially, family. Before me, it's like, I really don't get it. I'm doing the work, but everyone else is benefiting. Can you speak on that, or what you saw in me from when we first met, of my mindset, and to what it is now as I've gone this spiritual journey and my mindset, being that it's been like a time lapse since we really got to hang out and deeply have a conversation?
First of all, you are so driven. You always were so driven. You would never give up. You would not be like, that doesn't work for me, never mind. You just like, I need to get it. I'm going to change it. I'm going to work on this. What is that? I don't want to be miserable with this. I want to move that. So like that stubbornness and drive is what, is your probably formula for success. However you define success, beyond the definition of success, you're happy now. With what you created, you found Rebecca found you. This is how everything this is like culmination of all this work for me. And from that, you're creating so much more. So what if this is what was missing for you, that beautiful soulmate next to you, and together you can create so much more. So you did so much work. You trained so much with all the modalities, with the massage therapy, with all the different things, and you studied. You applied yourself. I know not everyone is so driven, so you're probably a big exception, JB, in how you changed. There's so much lightness. There's so much more peace about you. There's so much more relaxation. Before you were kind of like always reaching for something that somewhere inside of you decided that you cannot have. So that's usually why we don't have what we don't have, because somewhere we are refusing to have that, even if it's completely makes no sense and it's completely irrational. But this is something, some old wounds from childhood or before, and it seems like you really worked it out with all the tools, with all the diligence and all the stubbornness of yours. You really just made it happen for you. And as I said, we always can find something like energetically so much clearer. There was always so many energies, like chaos energy around you. And that's why you felt lost. And you were judging yourself so severely for the lack of abundance or lack of reaching somewhere, because you always wanted to be somewhere else. And I could see the similarity with me. Grass was always greener somewhere else. I never was good enough. And so that was resonating. And I think we also helped each other, progress with that need and desire. But when you come here, when you land here, when you find yourself here, nothing is better out there. So I feel like you really reached that place. And from that place, you can achieve so much more. And abundance will flow, money will flow when you come from this inner joy and satisfaction and just sense of fulfillment. And it's here now. You didn't have it before. It was always like grabbing something in front of you that was just out of your reach. And now it's just here. Like you are being this. Remember how much we worked on being this energy, becoming this energy, embracing this energy. Like now it's there, it's here. So in, I don't know how many years we've known each other, all those years, like I see a huge transformation, huge. So you're great testimonial that people can transform, people can change. People say like, people don't change. People do change if they do the work, if they are curious enough about who they truly are underneath all these layers that we put upon ourselves. There will be change. Change is always occurring. So it's like amazing job. And look, now you have beautiful life, you have beautiful creations, business, and it's just creation. But that creation is just like from this flow, from this space of contentment, not from the need. Before it was from the need, right? Does it, do you agree with what I'm saying?
Yes, it makes sense. One thing, I guess, from your perspective, how would you define the work? Because we have so many healers or gurus who put themselves in a position of leadership and they say you got to do the work, and almost 99% of the time they don't show you what the work is or what for someone to do the self-work for themselves. So can you give your interpretation to help other healers or people that are curious about the healing gifts, what the work really looks like? Because I could explain my stories, but then that's my journey, and that's what for me, and Rebecca, her journey, what the work is for her. What is yours? Like, how do you do the work?
Okay, first of all, I had to take responsibility for my creations. If I don't like something in my life, I did create that. So where is that root of creation? Where is that seed of creation? How did I create this? And it's not, because some things are creation, some things are co-creation. We meet people that resonate with us at the moment. Like how often, like 10 years ago, you were meeting completely different people than you're meeting now. And it's different quality of relationships, different qualities of energy. So this is kind of a confirmation that you progressed in some way energetically. But I use the tools, like I say, light and heavy. I don't just do something without checking the energy. I don't just say something without checking the energy. I look into the future. I look if I can change something about the past. If something keeps showing up for me, I learn the techniques to clear those energies, to shift those energies, to work on the timelines, to work. So I guess I can't give people one set of tools. It's more find the tools that work for you, and tools that worked for me 10 years ago are not tools that work for me now. I had to completely redesign my toolbox, and now I am embracing so many more things, and those tools are more like intuitive and energetic. They're not the precise tools I used before. And one tool will work for a while and then it won't, and then something else will show up. If you trust in the flow, and if you make a choice, like Rebecca said, everything is about the choice. And I'm a big fan of just choosing. Just choose whatever. Choose. Ask the universe, ask God, source, whoever you feel like you want to connect to. Show me, tell me, show me. Where do I go? Who do I talk to? What do I read? There's so many books. There's so much online. If you just be aware of the false prophets, because there's so many gurus and teachers that just want to get someone, I don't know, following them. They're falling out more and more now in those times, but they're still out there. That can have a lot of really nasty energies underneath that facade of goodness, and I want to help you, but they just want to get you hooked on whatever they're doing and get your money. And this, unfortunately, I've seen it in many organizations and teachers. So be aware, like if something feels off, it's off. Trust that feeling, don't go there. But you can always cherry pick the tools. If that, oh, that feels good, that feels like it's going to help me, that feels like it's going to help me, but use the tools. So what if we have tools in the garage, we never use them? Well, you have to use them. So light and heavy is for me, yes and no, getting the yeses and no straight. That's like number one. I use it all the time throughout the day. And I always look, like when I'm driving or when I'm doing, I'm in the kitchen, I always look at energies and I ask questions and I just look at the energy flowing, and things change, because sometimes you work on something here and now, and whatever you perceived in the future changed. So get like acknowledge, accept, and embrace and own that you know things. You just don't trust yourself. And so this is like really important tool. Get your body clear. Don't get entities hanging around you. Don't get entities in you. Learn how to clear them. You can just tell them to go away. You can just make sure you're always in your body. You can just always sure you're connected. Many people are like totally disconnected. They like chopped up and they're like all over the place. Call all your pieces back. Call all your soul fragments back. Everything that was ever stolen, taken from you, or you gave away because you were so good and wanted to help, call it all back. Everything you took from others, everything others implanted in you, send it back. So there are like simple things you can do. And there's so many different meditations and different tools out there. So clean up your body, clean up energetically and physically, of course. Be congruent with like what your body wants to eat. That's like super easy. If you eat things that are nurturing for your body, they're nourishing for your body, your body will be happier. If your body is happy, your energy will be lighter, and vice versa. If your energy is light, your body will be happier. It's always body, mind, spirit, cycle of things that go around. And so what else? So stay clear energetically. That's number one, because it's so easy to pick up some creepy energies lurking around, especially now. Like really now, it's a war out there. This is what I perceive between, you see, I start talking about it, I lose voice, between dark and light. They're on their way out, but they are like taking everyone with them, whoever they can. So we have to really stay clear in that connection. Connect with the earth, connect with the crystalline energy of the earth. Just shoot the energy from your heart, shoot it down, connect with the light energy in the earth, bring it back to your heart. So now you're connected to the earth. You can do it through your root chakra, through your feet. You plant it yourself. Be like a tree, plant yourself energetically into the earth, so you're not disconnected, because earth is very nurturing, earth is very healing. We have communication, we communicate with the earth all the time if you allow that. Okay, so then shoot the energy out from your heart up into the source energy, God energy, universe energy, however you want to call it. But there's a place that it's light. There's just light and lightness and beauty and just nurturing and goodness and wholeness. So connect with that, shoot it out through your crown chakra, connect with that energy, bring it back, connect with your heart and the energy from the earth. You connected, you just connected heaven and earth in your body. You became the extension of this beautiful energies. They're there for us. You like a tree. See, imagine a tree. It has the roots in the ground, and it has the crown in the sky, and then there's a trunk. So we, just like trees, we can be that connected and that synchronized and harmonized with the nature around us. So now you standing tall, you strong, you confident, you just created this column of light through your body. And chakras have to stay clean. They're going to clear immediately because ideally the chakras should be a column of light, just column of light with different aspects, the colors, the frequencies and so on. But it is a column of light, and there are rainbows and beautiful beautiful vibrations they're coming out of us. When you show up like this in the world, you're going to show up completely different than 99% of the people. Just stand, you know, in your light. And if there's no light, if you can't find the light, work on that. What is? Sometimes when I work with people, I see that they have like all kinds of things blocking them from that light, blocking them from that connection. They're disconnected. They're like chopped into half energetically. Just as I said at the beginning, energy is easy to change. Don't make it significant. Oh my gosh, my eye chakra is blocked. So what? It might be blocked right now, won't be in 10 minutes. Unblock it. You know, shoot out the energy out of this chakra, or bring something in that you need to bring in. Start the spin and vibration, and there we go. It's nothing is as significant as you make it. Like, we are the only ones that can stand in a way of something shifting, because our natural state is that lightness. Our natural state is that connection. It's that symbiosis with energies around us. So it's actually easy. We make it difficult. We're the ones that stand in the way of making it easy, right? So so remember that. Okay, so we connected those energies. We created that, you know, yeses and nos. Be aware. When you just do that, you will see that things will change around you. And also be aware of, like, do you have toxic people in your life? Do you have someone who always sucks you dry? Do you have someone that after this conversation with this person, you just feel like you need to lay down and you want to go to sleep? You know, what is their energy? I realized there was some people I couldn't look in the eyes when I talked to them, and I couldn't even connect with them, because I always just was like, oh, my whole body would be going like that. And I realized those are the people later on that are full of entities and demonic energies. I just can't even, because I jump in. We connect really fast. The moment you look someone in the eyes, you connected with the soul. You already like got downloaded everything they have in them, and they downloaded you into them. Like, there's this quick energetic exchange that happens. So I like, just, it was my self-defense. I just wouldn't even be able to look at them. And I was like, oh, this is what's happening. It's not something is wrong with me, because I can't even like look at the person. It's my awareness of their energies. So pay attention to those things too. And maybe if somebody sucks you dry every time you meet them, maybe stop meeting them. You know, look like also your relationships. Who are you with? And if you're a single person and you date a lot, and just ask your body, hey, do you want to be with this person? You know, if I be with this person, what will it create for my future? Ask about the future. It's so easy to ask about the future. Nobody teaches that. It's like so easy. If I choose this, what will my life be like? What will happen? How will I feel like after this meeting, after this choice? Or if I don't choose this, how will I feel like? You will know immediately. There's never a situation that you don't know. Be like, oh, that feels weird. I'm not gonna do that. Or like, ooh, that was yummy. That was wonderful. I need to do that. Like, we know, but we don't trust that. We don't trust that. So like, start trusting you. There's so many tools. There's, like you said, many people say there are tools, but they don't give them. I just gave you like gazillion tools right now, like what you can use, but write them down, remind yourself, and always just like take everything light. I don't know. I feel like I stopped being so driven, but I actually came to a place where I'm happy. I'm good. You know, I'm happy. I'm so grateful for everything I have, and I can have more. I can have different. I can add, but I don't have that need. And so many people, like, I know you looked up to these people, and I did too before, like the driven ones, like that really driven to get. But when I look now at these people energetically, there's this hunger, but it's not healthy hunger. It's not a healthy. It's more like they're coming from lack. They're not coming from, I have everything I need here and now. Yeah, it'd be nice to add. It's the same like with relationship. You're just going to add, not looking for a relationship for someone who will fulfill you or make you feel better or feel happier. It's just adding to your life, because you already feel great about yourself. And this person is just going to add to all this wonderfulness that I have going for myself. And imagine the quality of relationship when you're just adding, and that's exponential, right? Because it's not 1 + 1. It's like when you both come from that that standpoint, and then the work begins, of course, and then as in a relationship. But yeah, it's just play and read. There's so many things out there and so many videos. I sometimes just scroll through YouTube, and it's like, oh, this popped energetically. This feels like, oh, what's that? And I start listening. Sometimes you're like, oh my God, this is amazing. Or like, and like feel like, whoa, I don't want to do it. But it gave me some awareness for something or some information I was looking for. So just always play, always play. You remember, energies are just constantly moving, and be that as well. Be this moving energy, not just this stagnant, still person. Just always move energetically too. Did it help?
No,
Yes.
thanks for sharing.
Perfect. Yeah, no, definitely. That's what we talked about yesterday, removing all that negativity, especially if you want to work with yourself, the healing process, you have to remove whatever doesn't serve you or work for you anymore, because you are important. And, all those, what we call mantras, when you say them, feel them, because so many people say, well, I do this and I say this and I do all these manifestations and nothing's happening.
And just to kind of quick example, a couple weeks ago, I got offered to help a friend move some stuff, and I spent like 6 hours of physically laboring work just to generate just enough to come back home and just kind of complain. Where my wife was fortunate, she had to do like a 6-minute survey online to answer some questions, and she was able to generate a couple $1,000s. It's like, what the? Like, seriously? And just to the audience to be aware is like, the mindset is important. I'm still working on myself, and together I'm able to help elevate my wife. Before, she probably would have done the same thing, generate a few hundred and be fine with it. But the fact that we found each other and that we use each other's vibration to elevate and better each other, me working on my mindset, her working on hers, she's able to generate probably 10 times more if I wasn't in her life, so to speak. So that's what our say about developing your spiritual community, to help each other elevate to another level that you have access to, but by yourself, you can't reach that top shelf by yourself.
Yeah, and celebrate each other, celebrate your successes. Not like, oh, it could have been more. It's like, oh my gosh, this is amazing. What else is out there? What else is waiting for me out there? And as I said, don't come from a place of need. It comes from a place of already having it energetically. It's just adding to your life. It's adding to what you already have, and you have tremendous abundance. If you have roof over your head, if you have clothes to cover your body with, if you have food on your table, you're already more fortunate than 90% of the planet. So acknowledge that. Not like, oh, I don't have this 18 million villa on the beach in Malibu. Well, maybe you don't want an 18 million villa in Malibu. Maybe, I don't know. Maybe you do, maybe you don't. Does it really matter? Who cares? As long as you're happy here. How many people owning the 18 million villa are happy? Maybe they're totally unhappy, and owning something huge and very expensive doesn't really give them anything. So you have to find, what is your happiness? What is your definition of being happy and being joyful? For me, it's traveling. For me, it's meeting people. For me, it's teaching. It's like my biggest joy. After I teach, after I go around the world, that's what drives me. But for somebody else, it's to be skiing down the beautiful slope or swimming in some awesome pool. We have all different definitions of what makes us happy, and we need to find those as well, and develop something that you can create, and never say I don't do enough, because you are enough no matter what. And if it's just I spent last month making a garden, and this made me so happy. I didn't create anything, video content, classes, nothing for months. I made a garden and it makes me so happy. And I feel so fulfilled with that. And I keep checking on my plants and talking to them. And when they start growing, I am so happy. I was like, oh my gosh, I never thought this could be so satisfying. You know, brings me no money. The opposite, because I didn't create anything else, but made me feel so rich inside. And I know this will translate into money sooner or later, because I feel fulfilled and rich inside with what I created. I gave life to so many things, or sustained that life, or supported that life, or organized that life in a way that's really beautiful and flows together. So just find what makes you happy. Maybe you love cooking, maybe you love painting, or you always wanted to write that book. You know, find a thing, because money follows joy. If you feel like money is not coming, you're not coming from joy. You're not coming from here. You're not coming from your heart. You're not coming from your light. Times are changing now. The go, get. The forced creation doesn't work anymore. This is the thing of the past. The think and grow rich thing doesn't work anymore. We cannot think our way into success anymore like that. From the force, from the need, from the drive that is just doesn't feel like ease, doesn't feel like flow, doesn't feels like joy at all. It's hard freaking work. You know, when we're joyful, feel happy, it will come to us. The universe will always provide. And depends like what you want, whatever you're asking for. I lost like that, the reference point to like what I need to, like how much is a lot, what is what I need. It's just like all became very blurry. It's completely irrelevant in my life right now. So this is where I came to, but might be very different for you. But it's just like find what is true for you, like for you, not because you read a book or you saw someone who achieved that. Like what is really, really, really resonating with your heart, with your being, with your soul memory, with your soul family. Like what is it for you? Because times are changing. We will not even have a monetary system like we have now, 100 years in the future. Not that we're going to be here, but maybe we'll be in another body unless we go to another planet. I'm not coming back to Earth. I know that already, but maybe you will. I don't know. I'm going to be zooming in the universes and beyond in my plasma body next time around.
Thank you. So we're getting off Facebook Live now. We will be ending it, and also we're going to stop recording, but we will still stay on Zoom. If anybody wants to join in via Zoom, if you have any questions for Gosha, or something, it's a private session, and we're just going to keep talking a little bit more intimate. So thank you again for joining, and make sure to tune in tomorrow for day 3. And you could view this course through Facebook Live, and make sure to check out the other courses, and you could also find Gosha's information. Thank you.
Thank you so much.
Remember to stay healthy and breathe intentionally. Till next time.